everybody, this is Marie and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot, and today we are going to be talking about the Mandela effects. Now before we get started, I am going to be using my Radiant Tarot deck. I don't have a cover for this, unfortunately. This is one of my oldest deck ever. So this is my Radiant Tarot deck, and please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to drive traffic to the channel. Your help, your support, and assistance would be greatly appreciated. Deeply, deeply, deeply. Yes, so Mandela effect. Now, the name says it all. Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013, I believe. That was during Obama's administration. Now, that's what I remember. However, there's another group of people that swear up and down that Nelson Mandela, passed away in prison in the late 1980s, early 1990s. And so the way the internet explained Mandela effect is basically, they believe that one parallel universe and another parallel universe merge at one point, because one group remembers details a particular way and another group remembers another way. Another example is the movie, the 007 movie, Moonrake. Jaws, he has this, iron type of jaw, teeth, and at the end of the movie, there's wreckage everywhere, and then you can see him leaving the scene with the younger lady, petite woman. But the way I remember that story, that girl, that young lady, she had braces. So their relationship or their attraction makes sense, even though Jaw is a tall guy, looking massive, and the lady looks pretty petite, very opposite of him. She had braces and Jaws had jaws. But in the newer version, that lady has no braces on. That's one instance. The other instance, a lot of people remember Star Wars movies where Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father." That's what I remember. But a lot of people remember, "Luke, I'm your father." The "I am" is not mentioned. And a lot of people remember that. So we can go on. And if you Google Mandela effect and you go to images, you will see a lot of different examples of those little nuances, those little differences that are there. And a lot of people will swear that it's one way as opposed to the other. So, anywho, now, full disclosure, a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, when I asked the question, when I asked the card, has the timeline merged? The cards have said yes. And again, when I checked it, and again, about a year and a half ago, I asked the card the same thing. The card kept on saying that the timeline has merged to create another timeline, like a third timeline, and this is what we're on right now. But I've never asked the question, what is Mandela effect? I've always asked the question of, has the timeline merged? So let's see today what the cards wants to say about the Mandela effect, what it is, what the cards wants to share about that. I know it's a bit of a long intro, but I felt like I had to set the scene up. So let's see what the cards wants to say about what is the Mandela effect that the cards wants to share. Gonna shuffle it nicely. I haven't used this deck for so long. I felt like I had to use it. It's been calling me. This was my mother's favorite deck. Let's bring these back. Okay, Mandela effect. What did the cards wants to say about what it is? First card is King of Cups. Answer the question. Magician. Situation. Five of Pentacles. Pass. Eight of Wands. Present. Knight of Swords. Potential outcome. Empress. Clarification. Queen of Swords. Clarification. Wow. Trying to put everything in frame. Okay, so much here. The first card is the King of Cups. So we asked, what is Mandela effect? And to answer the first card that shows up is the King of Cups. It's as if to say, like to give you like a short and sweet answer, is that the Mandela effect is basically a level of spiritual and emotional awareness. Because the King of Cups, in this particular situation, it's not a person, it's a degree, it's a level of spiritual awareness or emotional awareness. Because it's not the page, because the page is a messenger, it's a beginning. It's not the Knight of Cups, because the Knight represent movement, you know. It's not the Queen, because the Queen is more passive, it's a little bit more, but it's the King that shows up. So the King, being a masculine energy, is more about action. So I'm guessing the reason why the Queen did not shows up, because the Queen is more subjective, more passive, more in the subconscious in its dealing. So the masculine shows up. So it's where you are at a level where you're actively awakened, emotionally, spiritually. You are at that level. And that's the King of Cups. And also the King of Cups, you see, he's in the throne and there's a lot of wave around him. This could be a manipulation card as well. And it can be also a mastery over one's emotion, one's emotional awakening. So I think all of the above can apply. The people who are aware of the Mandela effect, or people who are emotionally mature, awakened, spiritually as well, and they have a level of mastery over their emotion, over what's going on in the world. They are aware of the shift. That is interesting. The second card, situation, is the Magician. The Magician is such an interesting card because the Magician represents a person, individual who has everything at their disposal, who have mastered the elements, and they can manifest whatever they want. The magician in astrology also represent Mercury. Mercury is about communication, be able to convey your thoughts. Now, it's so interesting with the magician. The magician is the number one card on the in the major arcanas that shows up. It's not the fool. The fool is 0. The magician is number 1, and also in the tree of life, from Keter to Chakma, the magician is the first card. Was it magician or the fool? When your thoughts, the first thing that I don't remember which Bible verse. At the beginning was the verb, and the verb became thought and then became manifest. When you think of that saying, the magician should come to mind, because your thoughts, your words will come manifest and will create what the world looks like, or will shape the world. Your thoughts will shape the world in a nutshell. And the magician, it means that, coming to the Mandela effect, the magician is the card that not only that you have the spiritual awareness, that level to understand the difference, to see it, but you are at that level where you can practically shape your future or shape your environment. So the majority of the people who have this awareness of the Mandela effect, they are such a high spiritual level. Not only they're aware of it, of the shift or of the different timelines, they can affect the timeline as well with that magician, because of their level of spiritual awareness, but also because they have somehow mastered or stumbled upon the magician, meaning that they have this power of communication, and if they're able to harness it, they can manifest different timelines, or they can manifest whatever they want to achieve. Now, wow. Because what rules the magician is Mercury's communication, is thoughts, it's words, because what comes first is your thoughts. Then the thoughts become manifest, become something real, something, substantial. So again, with the magician, what rules it? The father of alchemy is considered to be the magician, because they have all of the elements, water, air, fire, earth, at their disposal to manipulate, to manifest the world around them. So that's awesome. So this is the Mandela effect so far. So the past, recent past, 5 of Pentacles. So apparently we have left a few timelines behind with that 5 of Pentacles. So it means that or different universe or different parallel timelines, which is playing the Mandela effect. So it means that with that pentacle, all pentacles are real, meaning that it's tangible, it exists, that it is an actual thing, it is not a myth or a conspiracy, whatever. The pentacle says that those we have left a few timelines behind already, and that we're moving to another timeline, maybe as we speak, because this represents the recent past. You see the 5 of Pentacles, these two people like hunching and leaving in disappointment those older past lines behind. So that tells me, with the Mandela effect, that yes, when I looked at the timelines before, it looks like there were 2 or 3, but now a lot has changed. You know, we have moved away from 5 timelines already. Now that's pretty cool. That's the recent past. And present is the 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands represent traveling, represent, things are lining up. But most of the time, it's a traveling card. So it appears that right now, we are traveling into the different timelines right now as we speak in this particular moment. So it looks like we are traveling, or we are shifting into another timeline that's going on right now. And to even emphasize the outcome is the Knight of Swords. Now, all knights are movement. Swords or thoughts, words, information. In this particular situation, not only we're shifting into a different timeline, present time, outcome, we're overemphasizing that we're not only moving, but we're shifting spiritually as well. And in a pretty rapid, because if you look at this knight, he made up his mind, and he is moving forward. He's rushing in his movement, not rushing, being impulsive, because thoughts, words, somebody who really put some thoughts into his decision, very discerning, but once they made the decision, they're in motion, they're in action to implement that thought or that spiritual awakening, or that. So that's the Mandela effect, essentially. That it's a state, a spiritual, emotional awakening, awareness. So much so that that person's, or that group, that collective consciousness can move, can manifest, and shift through different timelines based on their level of consciousness and awakening. And so far, we have left behind like 5 different parallel either universe or timelines, whatever you want to call it, and we're still shifting right now with that 8 of Wands, because that's a traveling card, and that we are in the process as we speak. We're shifting again. And then right now, because of our level of consciousness, that we are in sync somehow, we are rushing through into another level of spiritual awakening. Good gracious. And with that Empress card, we're going to a timeline, or a parallel, or a state of mind of abundance. That's what we want as a collective. We want abundance. We want comfort. We want luxury. Not luxury in like, brand name, but being comfortable, not scraping for food, or, paycheck to paycheck. Not that type of feeling. A feeling of, if you get out your house and then your garden is full of food, or you know that you're gonna be fed, that you're gonna have clothes, you don't have to worry about having your immediate need being met. So right now we're rushing to a new type of consciousness where we're seeking abundance, we're seeking comfort. And with that Queen of Swords, a lot of people in a subconscious level is coming to that realization, is coming to that knowing. Now a big group is already in that state of mind, but it looks like there's going to be more of awakening that's coming as well, because the Queen of Sword, she's a woman that's very discerning, very harsh in their thinking. It's very black and white with her, very nonsensical, and she is very reminiscent of the Justice card. You know, very black and white in things. So to come back to the Mandela effect, it's a spiritual, emotional awakening where we're driving that bus, because the Magician is a entrepreneurial type of card, that you have the power, you have everything in your mind, everything, your thoughts, you have everything at your disposal to push forward manifestation and to change the world, to change your perception, to change the timeline. And that we're shifting right now to a different way of thinking. And our way of thinking is to seeking more abundance and comfort, for not only for yourself but for everybody, because the Empress card is a card that wants everybody to be happy, to be in comfort. You know, no more homelessness, no more, you know, none of that. And a lot of people are coming to the spiritual knowing on a deep subconscious level. They may not be able to voice it out yet, but it's right there below the surface, just waiting to burst out. So that's the Mandela effect in a short. It's a short word. Now I'm taking two more cards. The Hierophant is telling me that there's two ways to look at it, because this could be like the bad guys is either has manipulated the timelines before, and but it also could mean that through our shift, through our awakening, through our shift in consciousness, in wanting things to be different, we are starting to manifest, to organize our thoughts. It's starting to be voiced. It's starting to be seen. Like, people are awakening. Not only that, but people want to express, you know, this new way of life. Example, there's a lot of people who are doing homesteading. There's a lot of people who are trying to going to the local route. There's a lot of people who are trying to express themselves differently than the way the Matrix has been behaving. So there's a group of people who are awakening, and that are starting to express themselves differently than what we're used to. And with that Strength card, that tells me that it's going to require some time and some patience for everybody to catch on. And the other way of looking at it is that, you know, for a very long time, the bad guys, they had a stronghold of manipulating the timelines. So there's two ways of looking at it, and I think all the above can apply. So wow, that's interesting. I hope you guys found this post helpful, educational, fun. I thought I did. I had a great time doing this. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. Feel free to share, like, subscribe. It's a little long video. If you did stay to the end of this video, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll see you at the next one. Thank you. Bye.